Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and today we're welcome with Chicago independent wrestler, Mr. Koda Hernandez. How we doing, man?
Good, Justin. How are you, brother?
I'm blessed, very excited for this. Like I told you off air, something we planned to do almost a year ago, and we're here. I'm excited. We got some big things coming up, so I'm excited to dive into those and get to talking about them.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
I dive into him with you, bro.
Before we dive in, you want to shout out your social medias, maybe even upcoming events, just to let the fans know where they can catch you.
Yeah. So, Coda underscore. It is Coda. Sorry, Prince Coda on X as of right now. And then as of right now, I'm not sure when this is dropping, but tomorrow will be Friday, October 3rd. I'll be at Pro Wrestling Revolver defending my Pro Wrestling Revolver tag titles with my tag partner Save Engage from Two Wanted. We do have Bloodstone on the debut show October 10th as well coming up, and then at the Sunday after that, the October 12th, I'll be at Naptown All Pro in Indiana, running a show there as well. And I'll round out my October with a Eagle Pro October 25th. Me and Save Engage against Tire Die from Detroit. So excited about that one as well.
So you brought up Bloodstone Wrestling upcoming inaugural event, Uncut Gems, which I will be a sponsor for. You though have a very big matchup, Chicago Street Fight against Supermex Hernandez. One, what can we expect out of this matchup, and what does this matchup mean to you personally and professionally?
Yeah, so the first part of that question, man, honestly, I promised my brother who booked me for this show, as we know, Nick, that I will bring violence for the street fight. I've come to fall in love with the not deathmatch style, but hardcore, more loose rules style of wrestling. I like to pride myself in doing creative spots when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm really looking forward to just getting in there, getting creative with what we have available. I know you told me some of the toys he has for us, man. So I'm looking just to bring a violent, almost masterpiece off to the audience, man. You know, I'm willing if the audience is willing to give me their money to come watch me wrestle, I'm willing to give them my body and perform this art we call professional wrestling. And I will not, hold back. I will not, try to play it safe. I'm going to try to do everything I can to make sure this is an entertaining match. And it's a Chicago street fight. I mean, legendary Chicago street fights have happened all throughout pro wrestling history. So I want to make sure I go and take care of that for it. And then what does it mean to me, man? I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people, old school people should be able to say it, but for me, I get to wrestle both members of the original LAX. And I find that so dope. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge TNA mark. I'm a huge Homicide mark. I'm a huge Hernandez mark. I loved when they had the flag match and they won and they sang the Mexican national anthem. And for the whole audience in Orlando, I just always been a huge fan of both of them. And I got Homicide almost 2 years ago. And now to get Hernandez and check them both off, man, I mean, it just means so much. Obviously, I have the Hernandez last name. So, I mean, pay respect to the OG. And I'm just hoping that at the end of the day, same way Homicide gave me his respect, I'm able to earn Hernandez's respect as well.
So you brought up just being a fan of them, growing up, a big fan of TNA, things like that. When did you find wrestling?
So my grandfather watched wrestling, my dad watched wrestling, so I immediately started watching wrestling. Like there's a running joke in my family that I was born on Monday, and my dad had Monday Night Raw on in the labor room instead of like watching my mom. So that's like the running joke is that like once I came out, Monday Night Raw was on. I don't remember I don't remember a memory where it wasn't there.
Okay.
To be police, I don't know what's with you. It's been around me my whole life. I have siblings. They watched it. They fell off. I'm the only one who's kind of stood with it the whole time. So that's when me and my dad connect out and me and my grandpa. So I can't give you an exact memory. I just remember the first person I fell in love with, which was Eddie Guerrero. And ever since I was a kid, I just remember him in my brain, seeing him in like Rey Mysterio all times since I was like an infant. I almost feel like I remember them.
What do you think your earliest Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio memory is?
So I want to say it's probably towards the back end of obviously because I was born as a '01 baby. So I was probably like
Okay.
4 when he passed. So I want to say my first memory was I want to say him and Batista in the lowrider when Batista gave him the first lowrider back after Eddie had done that heel run. I feel
Okay.
like that's the first thing I remember is because I remember Batista being so big, he wasn't sitting in the actual seat. He was just kind of was like hanging out, and then Eddie's like huge smile, and they hit the big pop of coming out. I feel like that's my first actual remembrance of Eddie Guerrero.
What's your favorite Eddie match?
I am a huge fan of Halloween Havoc, him and Ray, because I feel like WCW heel Eddie just has this like just I don't care. He knows he's good attitude. It's so amazing. And then if you go to WWE, I'm a huge fan of him and Kurt at Mania. I think that's a great one. I also think him and Ray at WrestleMania 21 is underrated. I think a lot of people get upset because Ray has to adjust his mask a lot in that match, but I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love it. And then I believe there's a match, the match with him and Edge. I don't know if it's no DQ, but it's like they have just a ladder in that match the whole time. That's also a huge like that'd be one of them. But all time favorites: Eddie versus Ray, Halloween Havoc. That match is absolutely amazing and innovative.
It's one that's hard to top for sure. I don't know if it can ever be topped. If that makes sense.
It's
That's,
it's the best thing is like when I hear Ray tell stories of people being like, "Hey, can we do this spot from that match?"
yes.
The up on and the DT is like, "No, we can't because I only did that once and it was just based off Eddie." It's like that's the absolute craziest thing to me because like he just goes, "No, I can't," because I know only me and Eddie could hit it. And like the magic they created that day. I mean, I don't remember the rest of that card. I just go back to that pay per view to watch that match specifically.
I couldn't tell you another. I think Hogan and Warrior fought at that Halloween Havoc, but that might be the only other match from that whole card I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, those
uh,
boys went out there, and I know for a fact they were not told to go that hard, or they weren't expected to, and they went out there and they absolutely nailed it.
another Eddie match, just throwing it out there that always I feel like is really underrated. I believe it was him and JBL in the bull rope match.
Where that's is it? Does he bleed buckets in that one as well, or is that
Yes,
the
yeah.
yes? That's
I
just
think he did it a couple times with JBL, but I think that's the infamous one where he bled everywhere and then like they had to give him blood because he
yeah.
bled so much. I'm pretty sure it's that one. But
So
just how Eddie looked after that was insane.
another match that popped in my head, and people probably won't know is Eddie Guerrero, but him in Japan in the first ever, I think, Super Jake Junior Cup, I think, when he's
Okay.
Black Tiger. That whole run, he has a match with Liger and he has a match with Malenko, then like him and Win Pegasus. Like it's just him in Japan's an all time. Like I don't people don't know because Black Tiger's obviously his gimmick when he was over in Japan, but he absolutely killed it in Japan. I think I watched him and Tanaka one or him and Taka Michinoku once, and it was
Ooh.
absolutely bonkers in Japan. It's amazing to watch that run of his.
So what would you say about wrestling captivates you the most?
For me, I think a lot of it comes back to I was almost captivated by the way it brought my family together so much. Like when wrestling was on, it seemed like my dad and my brothers and my grandfather all came together and just watched this and almost had a bond over this one thing. So to me, I just wanted to be a part of that, whatever that was. So I feel like that's what kept me. Now being an adult and growing up, I think it's just the absolute it's the rings of canvas and then their bodies the paintbrush and the stories like what their art is and they use their body as art or as like this material to create art that we appreciate. It's the craziest I feel like form of acting or method acting. A lot of people of course it's predetermined, people want to call it fake, but the idea that someone's just hurling their body around to tell this long story for you to be entertained by, I mean, like it's Broadway just with like athleticism.
Absolutely. It's the best way to realistically explain it because the stories that go on inside the ring are so captivating, and it
Mhm.
takes both people working together um, almost flawlessly to
Mhm.
make it work and to make it make sense, and uh, also for nobody to get hurt, but still be able to captivate a crowd.
do two matches. I tell people all the time if they want to see the best form of storytelling is Bret Austin WrestleMania. I honestly think the all time great match is Shawn and Kurt Mania 21. The storytelling of like when Shawn's in the ankle lock for the last time and he keeps almost tapping and Kurt's just wrenching and you see Shawn, it's like you see all the emotion in their face and Shawn doesn't want to tap and he's there and he's like almost pulling his hair, he's biting his lip to relieve pressure. And when he finally taps, it's almost like you see this like sign, like this look of like almost like disappointment that he tapped, but also like a look of relief that he's now out of the hole. It's like, and then obviously everyone knows the Austin push up last time, blood rushes through his face, and then boom, passes out. It's timeless.
Another one, just to throw it out there, that is great storytelling, but it's also it's one of those matches that's so easy to consume because it's not long. Is Ray's debut in WWE against Kurt? Like I think they went like 8 minutes, just under 8 minutes.
Yeah,
but they told such a great story.
It's legit this style that no one's ever seen before. Kurt's never handled. You see him almost flustered in the beginning because how fast, how much movement Ray has, and he finally figures it out. And he figures out, he's like, "Oh my god, I actually got that. That's wild." And it's like you showcase this guy in under 8 minutes, but Kurt's selling is just so like, what is the fuck is this guy doing? Essentially, what is this thing?
So, like when we started this part of the conversation, we was talking about TNA.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find TNA? Like, what was your first memory or introduction to total nonstop action wrestling?
So I want to say my first one was when I think I saw Jeff Jarrett and Sting because my dad obviously was a huge old school fan of WCW. So was my grandpa. So they figured out Sting and Jeff Jarrett were still wrestling in this company called TNA. And then they turned that on and I saw Jeff and Sting still going at it. So I feel like that's my earliest memory of seeing them is Sting and Jeff Jarrett wrestling. I'm not sure exactly what year that is. But then we found the TNA version of the Cruiserweight division with the X division. And then, you see guys like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Amazing Red, Low-Ki, Samoa Joe, like all these guys. And then you go, oh, this felt like what WCW had with the Cruiserweight division where these guys were just hauling ass while the main eventers were just kind of doing whatever.
So, like, also at the beginning of this, we was talking about Homicide and Hernandez. Do you remember what your reaction was the first time you saw LAX?
So I can tell you that my father comes from a background of what they were portraying as far as being Latino and being out in the streets. And I've seen people like that growing up. So when I saw that, my instant connection was like, oh, those are people around me, obviously. Those are people I've seen around like neighborhoods, seen around the block. I've grown up around, so it instantly connected that that's who. And those people are on TV, so I kind of found it cool. Like, oh, look at those people actually get there. So the connection was just like it hit home for me. It made me feel like I was watching people I already knew on screen, and that's why I feel like I gravitated so much towards them. And my reaction was, those are people I know. Like those are like homies, or like those are like people in the neighborhood that just made it to TV.
How important was that to you as a kid?
I mean, it was super important to me because I didn't get the gravity of it as a kid because I didn't understand that like that wasn't normal for that to be portrayed on screen. I mean, growing up now, it's crazy that they got away with so much that they did. That they get because like WWE wasn't having it at that time. I mean, Homicide was Homicide full on. He was full on streets Homicide. There's no filter to it. That was him, and like that always reminded me of like, oh, he's kind of like he reminds me of my dad, kind of. So like to me, it's like I had an instant connection where like I can be like, oh, if he made it, then someone like us can make it.
I think, and I didn't realize it as a kid, but like I think the one thing about Homicide that always like got me was his finish, the Vertebreaker. But like I'd go around saying, like, I think when it first was introduced, wasn't it the Gringo Killer?
Yeah. Then that changed to his cutter became the Gringo Killer afterwards.
Okay, so like I just went around saying, not knowing what it meant. Mm-hmm. I also just for like an idea. I was raised in West Virginia,
Mhm.
So there, and at the time there wasn't a lot of Hispanic Latinos in the area. So like I didn't know what Gringo Killer meant or what that meant, but like just seeing him do it and he was somebody different, I always was like, this is interesting. And my dad and me, we grew up on the poorer, like more ghetto side of town. So
Mhm.
like once again, they look familiar, but they're not
Mhm.
familiar, if that makes sense. They
Yes.
look like people my dad would hang around with and was
Mhm.
associated with. And I was like, these guys are interesting. And then they're doing like and like I didn't watch WCW, so I've never seen a vertebraker before.
Yeah.
So like that was interesting. And then like you have Hernandez throwing people with the border toss. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I loved the Razor's Edge as a kid, but this is cool. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah, he was
just throwing
flinging dudes.
people.
Yeah.
So like all of it together was just it was different. And they felt like they was taking over. They had their own entrance. I
Mhm.
always loved Conan as a kid. I don't know what it was because like Conan at that point wasn't even really wrestling. He was just there. And
Yeah.
like just something about Conan was always interesting to me. So like the whole package was so different and I don't know how to put it, but it was just
It was organic, and it almost, I felt like, introduced a lot of the mainstream people to a culture they weren't in tune with. Because
yes,
the thing is, like, they weren't faking who they were. It's exactly who Conan is, that who Conan was, who Homicide was. So it was almost like you got to pull the curtain back on this whole new world that, like, people in West Virginia didn't have. People somewhere else didn't have. It's like this culture, you're like almost shocked by it, but it almost seems familiar because I'll it's everything's different, but everything's kind of the same at the same time.
yeah,
Like you said, it
it,
feels
it,
like the same thing, but it feels different. But it's just different ways we represent whatever it is we're representing.
100%. So growing up, we spoke about Homicide, Hernandez, Ray, Eddie. Who were some of your other favorites or people that you gained the most inspiration from?
Hmm. I love Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle is one of the greatest of all time. Obviously love Cena. I love Randy. Um, and Jeff, dude, Jeff Hardy.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's crazy you bring up Jeff because I got to have one of those moments. I was fortunate enough TNA let me do an interview with the Hardys, and I've done this for just over a year now, and I've never been so nervous for an interview in my life.
I could
And
only imagine.
it was one of those even like I felt like I was cool, I was over prepared, and then the camera turned on and I started fucking shaking.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like yeah, and it was one of those things that I played through my mind over and over, like how will I introduce them? How will I talk to them? How will I do the little banter before the podcast? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I get on there and I've like, and I mean this in the best way possible. I don't think I've ever felt like a mark more in my life, but I was just like, this is the greatest effing tag team of all time. And I like at first I didn't know if they'd like it or not because sometimes you know how people are. You do too much, especially some podcasters in this field are a little much. I
Mhm.
didn't want to be like them, but I just had to show them that I appreciated it, and it went over well. And I don't think I've ever been so happy about a response so far in doing this.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to think because, like, a story, like, I'll put it out there. Like, when I first met Homicide, like, I saw him walk in the building, and I don't know if this happened to you, but there's almost like this glow around them, and it's almost like like they're in slow motion almost. And like I can't take, like, I know I'm staring, but I cannot take my eyes off this human being, and it's just like almost like it's like everything kind of silent, but I can hear what he's saying no matter what, and like. I mean, I've been grateful enough to have AEW extra work and be introduced to Eddie Kingston as well. And like, same thing, I swear. Like, I just saw this. I almost like shut down and saw like a glow, and then it was super fucking weird. But I could hear everything he was saying. I couldn't hear anyone. Like, I only could zone out to that. So
Yes.
I can only imagine if I met Jeff Hardy, if that's what it would be. What would it be like?
Like just speaking of Homicide, I guess Homicide was actually one of the first big names to respond to a message or DM that I on social media to try to get on here. Unfortunately, at the time, I think he was just when he got his diagnosis and he was going to have to step away from wrestling. So he was very honest. And I don't even think it had been announced yet. Like, I don't think he made it public, which I thought was even cool that he was so upfront, knowing that, especially in the wrestling space, you give any bit of news and it's immediately leaked. It's immediately out there. So it's
Exactly.
cool that he even gave that tidbit and I guess entrusted me enough to say, hey, this is why I can't do this. Sorry, maybe at a later date. And then I guess entrusted me not to go and say it. And I don't think I've ever shared that before, but like that little interaction with Homicide was like the first time that, for one, it was like one of those, okay, now these people will respond to me. These people I've seen on TV, these people I've grown up watching and idolizing, they're not out of reach.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to also see that human level of him being like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what's going on. I can't, or like, I'm not doing it right now because of this reason. And it was just, hopefully that will eventually change and I'll get to have that interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool that I was able to have that small bit of interaction. So I can only imagine, for one, what it's like to be in the ring with him and to be able to talk and soak in that that energy.
Yeah.
It had to be amazing.
I think one thing like you mentioned that like is crazy. You almost forget like these are regular human beings just because like they're at this level up here to us. It's like when you meet them, you forget they talk normal, they walk normal, they're normal people. It's just you almost has a high standard that it's almost like you don't want him to come down to you. It's like like I get it, like like I'm like you're here, I'm here, I got it. But like they're just human beings, and like it's crazy once you talk to them. It's like you're just a normal like guy. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, and it's even one of those like, and it's something I'm sure as you climb the ranks in wrestling, it's hard to realize your value, if that makes sense. Because like I've recently, like I went to Michigan for a convention. Rhino had a convention out there, and I had people approach me like asking for pictures, and I was so confused, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, there's like Kurt Angle's right there, and they're like, no, I've
Yeah.
already got one with him, but I want one with you now. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Have you ever had a problem or struggled with accepting the adulation from fans?
Absolutely, because I don't feel like I am anyone special. I don't feel like I do anything different than any normal human being does in their life. I don't think like again, it goes back to like I'm a human being. Like I feel the same. I feel things. I act a certain way. Like I'm the same as everyone else. We have all our same. Like we all have different personalities. We're all human beings at the end of the day. And like when fans are like giving me like great match, like you're one of like my favorites. Like I almost like start getting hot in my body, not because I'm upset, but almost because like I feel uncomfortable that someone is giving me such recognition that I almost feel like is undeserved. That I'm just doing what I like to do, and it's crazy to think that someone loves what I'm doing, even though I'm just doing it kind of for my. I'm kind of doing it because I love it. Obviously, I love that the fans are into it, but I'm doing it because I love it. And if fans love it, that's cool. If fans hate it, perfectly fine with me. I'm just doing it because this is what I love to do, and for fans to give me the recognition and come up to me and say you're one of my favorites, buy merchandise. Anyone's ever bought merchandise for me, I think it's insane. It's highly appreciated because it just shows me that someone out there in the world is willing to wear your name out in public on a t-shirt and show support, and like that's amazing to me. And like it is hard to accept sometimes.
So just out of curiosity, like, a lot of people grow up watching wrestling,
Mhm.
but it takes a certain moment or a certain level of intestinal fortitude to actually step into the ring and try it.
Mhm.
What pushed you to want to go that way?
So I have been watching my whole life, obviously. Little known fact is kind of known in the Chicago scene. I actually started when I was actually 12 years old training. My father had a friend who he backyard wrestled with who turned pro in Chicago. His name was Iceman Tim Norton. He's a little bit known in Chicago, but then he had somebody who was opening up a school. He's gonna be guest training with there, and my dad's like, hey, my son's birthday is coming up. Can you come in and just like run the ropes? Can you just show him whatever? And that happened, and I just kept going back every week because I kept begging to go back every week. And I turned on to be a full-on trainee there at the age of 12. I had my first match when I was 12 years old, which is really crazy to think as a child that I had there. Then I took a break when I was about going into high school, so like freshman year, like 15, and I came back when I was 18. And the thing that brought me back is it was kind of crazy because when I turned 15, I kind of got out of all wrestling. I stopped watching it, stopped like anything with wrestling. I was not paying attention. That whole like time frame, missed all the Raws, didn't know what was going on. And then my grandfather had got tickets to go see NXT Takeover Chicago 1, I believe, or maybe
Okay.
2, but 1. And it was Ricochet versus, I want to see, Velveteen Dream, I think. And I remember it being a completely like amazing banger of a match. And then the main event, I believe, was Authors of Pain versus DIY in the ladder match, and it being insane. But I remember seeing my dad and my grandfather so excited and happy and ecstatic with what's going on. I went, I want to make them feel that, but with me in the ring, and that got me back into it.
You know what's crazy is I was also at that very same takeover show. It's actually the only pay-per-view I've ever been to.
That take
Is that NXT? Yep, it was fire. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Yes. Okay, that's the main
Match of the year.
I remember it's Bates take your dive, and then
Yep.
Dunn just hits him with the forearm. I remember being like,
yes,
he committed that dive.
insane.
Oh shit,
he killed him.
You can come in. Yeah, it's you own this place. Is it video? Yeah. Well, you're not on video though. Is it on video? Yeah. We have a guest dropping in right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this is a
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
You're on the clock, sir.
No, I'm not. It's after 9, dude.
What are we talking about?
Nice seeing you, Ali.
The Hernandez match.
Yeah, because I got me versus Hernandez coming up on the 10th.
It's a big match.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I'm gonna send him a text about tossing your ass out of the ring.
You know Hernandez like that?
Personally.
You know personally know Hernandez?
No, but I'm gonna find it.
It's a badass little cameo.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
No, I've been asking TNA for that one.
Yeah.
Just knowing.
Here, I don't know if this guy's as important.
Who is this?
He's on the Bloodstone show. There's Alfonso.
Hey,
Alfonso, I've reached out.
Yeah,
We'll get him on. We'll get him on. I've reached out.
Yeah, I work with these guys. It's kind of fun sometimes.
Okay, we're gonna have to push him to get on here.
I know. I'll push Alfonso to get on there. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot where I was at. Ali threw me off, man.
Yeah,
I just emailed TNA the other day to get him on here, so we'll have to see if that happens.
Yeah, Ali.
I told him no.
What's funny is I asked for it today. If you want me to be 100% honest.
Already no. It hasn't been 24 hours.
He said no. Oh, that's amazing.
I think that might be the indication, brother.
Oh, that's great.
How I wanted to ask, how important has freelance been to you so far throughout your career?
It's been pretty great. I mean, it's kind of like the main place I kind of got my start at. I mean, the big break was off freelance, to be honest with you. I mean, Alfonso can say the same thing. It's where we got our start at. Obviously started at the academy there, and then being just good at in the ring training and everything like that. We got to the point where they put us on the main shows. I started off as tag wrestling, then they trusted me with singles wrestling, and after that, kind of kept going off to the races. So I mean, it's honestly, I wouldn't have my start or my break unless it was for freelance.
How did you get your foot in the door there?
I just hit the owner, Matt Nix. They had just started the academy, and I heard they were taking new students. So I left my previous training and then just hit them up and started there on their monthly course.
So something that has always interested me, especially in the Chicago scene, is there's so many schools. You got CSW, Galley, Freelance, the Ice Pick Academy, just to name a few. How did you go about?
I got it, dude. I was gonna get there, bro. No need.
Yeah, it was a lead up. It was building up.
Yeah.
How did you find the right school, and how did you find Ali's school?
Well, Ali kind of found me.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were at freelance for a minute, for a really long time, and then Ali got the itch to open up his own school, the Chicago Wrestling Center. And I was honestly just he wanted to do beginners course, and he wasn't going to do any like the advanced stuff, and I kept like begging him, and a lot of the guys who had trained with him previously kept begging him to do an advanced class, and then he was just going to do the advanced, and then he got the idea to have me and Alfonso come in as assistant coaches, which I was surprised because I kind of suck, so I was surprised he took me on that way. Uh, and then I'll just say from there, I mean, he's the best teacher we have around. I mean, this is a school to be at right now to become a professional wrestler, Chicago Wrestling Center that we're now in. Was it Forest Park, Illinois?
Forest Park is the third class.
Forest Park. We're on the third class. Our first two graduates, Andre Flo and Brian Gorda.
Yeah.
Brian Gorda. They have been making waves as far as their professionalism in the backstage area and their in-ring work. So I mean, yeah, if you want to see what you can become, you watch those guys, man. You get trained by the best, and you get to learn over someone who's been all around the world getting paid to wrestle. Not me or Alfonso, I mean Ali.
Okay. So something that has interested me about your career is you've faced everybody. If
You
we
hear that,
just
Alfonso?
guys
I
like
wrestled everyone. Who have you wrestled? That's pretty true. That's true.
You lost.
guys like Mustafa Ali, Chavo Guerrero, Santana, Jake something, Homicide, and coming up Hernandez. I'm gonna run through a couple of those. Just tell me what's been like to be in the ring with those guys. I know you've watched some of them. You've watched their careers, grown with them, things like that. Just tell me what that experience was like. We'll start with Mustafa Ali since he's in the room.
Oh God, man!
Put you on the spot.
Man. It was the scariest experience of my life, to be completely honest with you, dude. This dude is I've seen him at training every day, and he loves to just eat people alive when he can. And he has a cardio level that I definitely do not have.
Okay.
So it's super intimidating when you have to go with someone like him. But he was nice enough not to go full speed with me, and he led me through that match, and he kept me safe and he protected me, and it was very much an honor to get in the ring with him, considering from when I first started training with him till now, him having the trust to come into freelance and have the match with me. So very much humbling as well, because it just meant a lot that someone would want to come in and work me like that.
What about Chavo Guerrero?
That one I can't put into words. It's obviously like 6, 7 year old me living a dream that he never thought he would live. I would never live before. He was the absolute most humble guy possible for being who he was. Have nothing bad to say about him. He was absolutely okay with anything I pitched, and he made things better. And he was not what people would say as hard to work with as far as legends go. I can't say enough good things about him, man. And I've seen him at a convention once, and he was so happy to see me. He shook my hand. So it was great to see him. We had a little bit of chit chat, and he gave me great feedback when after the match we had. And it's just living a childhood dream, to be completely honest with you, man.
Did you get to pick his brain at all? Maybe even ask questions about Eddie, who you were so enamored by as a child?
Yeah, hilarious enough, we go to this really, really shitty diner after every freelance show, us and a couple of the boys. And Chico Suave had asked Chavo Guerrero as a joke if he wanted to come out and eat with us. And he said yes. And then he actually came out to eat with us and told us some amazing road stories about all the boys. Thank you, sir. Yeah, man. Amazing stories about the boys on the road and his locker room stuff. And it was just crazy to sit like across from him and like hear him tell these stories. And Alfonso has a great rib he does every time we go out to eat. He tells the waitress or waiter, it's my birthday, and they bring out a birthday cake. And Chavo was laughing his ass off as this was happening. And then I didn't like the cake, so he ate the cake for me.
Okay. I got two more matches I want to ask about, and then we'll move on. What about against Mike Santana?
So that's again something with Ali. Like I work someone who's in their prime now. Like he's in his prime. This is someone who is now doing everything he's doing. I have nothing but respect for him. When him and Ortiz were LAX, I thought it was the most amazing tribute to the original LAX. They were amazing there. When he went singles, I saw him killing the Indies. I thought he was fucking killing it. Always been a huge fan of him, and it's a guy who just I knew he was gonna bring this intensity that I had the match when it came to being in the ring with him. And man, he hits hard. I try to match his energy hitting harder because I knew out of respect he would want that back. And man, it was one of the toughest battles I had physically, but like mentally, it was honestly something also kind of hard because the story of that's his flights kept getting delayed because we were having a little bit of a snowstorm in Chicago. So he actually landed at 6 o'clock. Show starts at 7. I picked him up for the airport, and we didn't talk about wrestling at all the whole car ride to the venue. We just talked about music, family. Obviously, we're both Puerto Rican, so Puerto Rican culture, food, and then we got to the venue, started talking about the match. But it was cool just to talk to him as a human being for that car ride, and then start talking about wrestling afterwards.
Definitely. You know, Santana is he was the first current TNA superstar I was able to have on the podcast, and it was definitely one of the like I don't think you realize how like down to earth and
Mm-hmm.
just Mike Santana is until you
Yeah.
get talking to him and you break the ice with him. I think that's the hard part is breaking that ice. But once it's open, and the ball's ready to be rolling. If that makes sense.
Exactly. He is a very as it comes in culture and as it comes from where you grew up and where you're from, you're kind of very standoffish in the beginning. You don't give too much away, but once you start feeling comfortable, you're comfortable, and you can finally talk to him. That's exactly how it was in the car ride. It was a little bit hard at first, but then we started about music, started talking about Puerto Rico itself, and then we started just getting the ball. We started talking about a bunch of stuff.
Well, the cool or the interesting thing I should say about like the Santana interview that I was able to do is he's talked a lot about his recovery and just how important his family was to helping him get there. And it was I got to relate with him in the aspect of I was the child that asked the dad to get his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was one of those like I got to understand him, but not because I was in his shoes, but because I was in the person's shoes that helped him get better. And immediately after we started talking about that, the whole tone of the interview changed, and it was definitely for the better. And I don't think the interview would have been as good if there wasn't that nugget to relate on, if that makes sense.
Again, it goes back to the human aspect. Like he is a human, and once you get to that human level, that's when it starts to open up. And it's crazy to see it because again, he has to drop his guard down. But again, this goes back to everyone who you think like is a superstar host is just a human being at the end of the day. Like once you start getting to that human level, that's when everyone starts opening up about what they want to talk about.
I think that's been my favorite part about doing the podcast, though, is just being able to talk to you guys. And, you know, I think a lot of times we get caught up in the matches and in the moments, and we don't get to realize, like, hey, you guys have normal lives. You guys have families and children, and some of you an everyday job just like me, things like that. And it's sometimes we forget those things, and to be able to bring those things to light and make you guys relatable, um, further than what we see on the screen, it has to be my favorite part
Yeah,
because it opens that door a little bit, not too much because you guys deserve privacy and you guys deserve the right to be able to live that normal life, but just enough to where it makes maybe that easier. Sometimes I feel like fans get caught up in the aspect of you guys are on TV or you guys are making it somewhere, so let's treat them like we're paparazzi or things like, you know what I mean? And they
absolutely.
forget to say, okay, wait a minute, maybe that guy's just out trying to get a sandwich with his dad or brother or whoever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um, just I think it's very important that that distinction's made that you guys are human beings.
Mhm.
Um, one last match I'll throw out there, and we've kind of touched on a little bit, but what was that day like going into the match with Homicide?
I'm so glad Alfonso's here because Alfonso gave me some insight of how I was that day because he was in locker room. Alfonso, how would you describe me the day I wrestled Homicide?
I think as locked in as I've ever seen a performer before, where I couldn't really get a read on him, because I could tell like everything in his life, in his wrestling career, had been leading up to that moment. He was in his zone, and it wasn't until right before he was about to go out on that curtain he started to break a little.
It was absolutely bonkers the way I was. I legit was behind the curtain. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, see you. Bye, Alfonso. I legit was behind the curtain. As they're announcing, it's the main event of this. It's the street fight. And Saban Gage came up to me and he was right in my face. He was hyping me up. He was pushing me. Him and Davey Bang. And I tell you this, like not joking, I could not hear a single word from their mouth. It was just like white noise. I was looking and they like backed off and like almost had like a worried face, like they thought like I was gonna pass out. But I was just so focused on what was about to happen. I did not pay attention to what was going on, and they couldn't break my like focus. They could not break it. And the crazy thing is, Robert Anthony, who booked the show, who booked Eagle Pro, who booked that match, we got Homicide. He was a match before, so he came behind the curtain, and he put his finger on my chest, and this is the only moment I snapped at, and I kind of realized we had been talking about this. He sent me this video from another wrestler who had done like a day in the life of IWTV, and he showed this bandana that Homicide gave him after they wrestled, and he's like, this bandana travels with me everywhere. Homicide gave it to me after he wrestled and told me I earned it, and every day leading to that, Robert would send me a bandana and say, you need to earn this bandana. You need to earn this bandana. You have to earn it. So I made my personal goal that I needed that bandana. And he just came to the back. He put his finger on his chest. He goes, go out there and you earn that fucking bandana. And like, it just snapped me to being like, yeah, I have to do this. It's go time. And calling with him was no problem. It's crazy to think someone like him would take opinions from people you wouldn't think before. He was asking the ref for opinions. He was asking other people from the locker room just standing around for opinions on the match. He was walking me through why he thought what needed to happen. I mean, man, he took bumps through doors for me. He let me kick out of, the gringo cutter. He let me, hit this on him, hit that on him, and he was super cool with everything I did. I just found it so crazy that someone like him at his level would give me all, especially at his age. This is only 2 years ago. So like he was probably just starting with a little bit of the brain thing going on, but he still went out there and gave us all perform. I mean, I don't get usually emotional about matches. I mean, the Child one, obviously, the Ali one, obviously, but that Homicide was the first one where everything hit me because he put that bandana in my hand and he told me, like, bring me in, and he told me something in my ear that I keep to this day to myself. But he told me something and it meant so much to me. And then after the show, he actually, the fork that he had cut me open with, he signed it, and I still have it to this day, where with a big picture of him putting the fork in my forehead when I'm bleeding. The one you have on your screen right now, I have that framed in my apartment, and right under it's the fork that still has my blood, that still has his signature on it. And that was the one day that I could say nothing could stop me that day. I was more than enough locked in. And the thing about that match is going through that, I don't think any match later on could get me that nervous because I felt like I had reached my peak nervousness. Like even wrestling Travel and wrestling Ali and Santana, no nervousness match that night and that day.
Will that be what happens next Friday?
I would say I am a different performer and a different person at this level at this time. I now see it as I am the guy for Chicago and for Bloodstone. So I have to carry myself with a certain level of not being afraid of what's going to happen when I wrestle Hernandez.
Okay.
The nervousness I may still be there, but I have a different confidence now as well, where I know I deserve to be here and I know I can hang with the best because I've been doing it for about a year and a half now. So the confidence is there now. I'm pretty sure I will get nervous, but I'm just a different performer at this time.
I love it. Before we move on with your career, we're gonna do a little segment. My little brother he's a big part of the podcast. We do live streams every Monday and Wednesday. We call him Nasty Nate here on the podcast, just a little
Okay.
fun name for him. But he's always asking us starting fives, and it's kind of like a Mount Rushmore question. But he's like favorite starting five of drinks or pops, whatever, just being silly. He's a kid. So I've put that into the own spin here on the channel. So if you were a coach and you had to pick 5 people to start on your team, whether it's a basketball team or a war games team, who would those 5 boys or girls be?
Wrestlers or anyone in general?
Anybody.
All right. Well, Eddie Guerrero's on there for sure.
Okay.
I'm a huge J. Cole fan, so J. Cole's on there for sure.
I like it.
Give me SpongeBob because I love SpongeBob. Give me Selena because she's a legend of my people, and I absolutely adore her. And then one more. Man, give me Derrick Rose. He meant so much to the city, man. He meant so like as a child. I just knew how much he meant to the actual city.
Peak Derrick Rose was the best.
Like he like Chicago was. I wasn't born during the Bulls when Jordan was going crazy, whatever. But
Exactly.
Derrick Rose made the city feel like it was on fucking fire when he was at his peak. When he was taking the Heat to Game 6, when he was taking Boston to Game 7 in that crazy series, when he was doing his MVP season, I mean, man, it just felt like this city was on a different level of like just positivity. He lit this city up for years.
Just a sub question. What's your favorite J. Cole album and favorite J. Cole song of all time?
Everyone says their favorite albums, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which again is probably his best album he has. My personal favorite albums, the album before that, it's his Born Sinner album. I think it is more hits, more beautifully constructed. My favorite song by J. Cole is 03 Adolescence, which is obviously 2014 Forest Hill one, but that one just connects because he's speaking from obviously what he would think he would want as an adult, and then him realizing he was just a child, and this is really what he was looking for. So that's it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his song "Love Yours." I think it's a beautiful song. Just appreciating the stuff you do have in your life, and not trying to something like there's always be something better. But once you appreciate the stuff you have in your life, it's absolutely beautiful. And then there's a song called "Windows Pane" off his KOD album, which is just this storytelling aspect of just someone going through a struggle and seeing it from a kid's perspective and seeing it from an adult's perspective. I think his storytelling is really what gets me. But if I had to pick one, Born Sinner and best song, 03 Adolescence.
I think I agree with the Born Sinner. I think his best song of all time has to be Crooked Smile.
See, that's a beautiful.
I love it.
That's
Just
what
has
people
such.
won't say. Crooked Smiles, amazing
It's
to
so
me.
good.
I love Power Trip off that same album.
Yep.
I think it's amazing. I can go. He's just
Forbidden Fruit was good.
Forbidden
I love
Fruit,
that song. Yeah, I love
amazing.
the beat. The beat's fire.
Yes, I love Kendrick's a little bit of words in there too, and when he
Yep.
comes in every now and then, amazing. I mean, dude, even off his, I know people don't like it because it's a concept album, but For Your Eyes Only, the last track, I know it's long, but if you listen to the story, it's fucking amazing. For Whom the Bell Tolls is the first song, and I went to his quick side story. I went to his concert in Chicago when he was doing his For Your Eyes Only tour, and For Whom the Bell Rings came on, but in the arena they had like this rain sound playing because it was almost like you hear raindrops and then him singing the song, so it had like this different layer of it because he says, in the song he says like, "Will the rain like fall down on me?" And like it just sounds crazy when you actually hear like rain falls. It just added a different element to it. It was absolutely amazing.
That's a different podcast altogether. We could probably have a
Yeah,
whole hour
exactly, dude.
long
I'll
J.
do a whole
Cole.
podcast about J. Cole, dude. You can ask anyone. Like, I'll do a whole podcast about J. Cole.
That was my high school experience with J. Cole.
Yeah, man.
Listen
Like,
to so much.
I'm big into rap. I mean, everyone knows I got Mac Miller tattoo here on my wrist from his swimming album. I got Juice WRLD lyrics on me. I have Love Yours actually tattooed on my shoulder. I'm gonna get redone because it kind of doesn't look good right now. I'm a huge music guy. I have a My Chemical Romance tattoo on my thigh I just got, and I have a Little Peep Ghost on my thigh as well. So like,
That's hilarious.
man, music. Music, I go for hours with, man.
Back to wrestling. We brought up Saban Gage earlier.
Yes.
What brought yourself and Saban together to start Latinos Most Wanted?
So crazy, and it only happens in wrestling. Me and Saban Gage are actually related. We're cousins, but we did not know this until we started in wrestling. So Saban Gage was training at Chicago Style Wrestling in Franklin Park, I believe. I was training at Freelance Academy. Saban Gage had come to the Freelance Academy, and that's where I first met him. I obviously have known about him, but I never met him before. We became not relatively close. We just became a part of the same friend group because we were cool. And then one day, I go to a party on my mother's side, who I've never really been around. I mean, I've been around as a child, but I don't be really often. And she saw someone she knew, and then I just saw Saban there, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm here for this family's thing," and I was like, "I'm here for this family. I'm part of this family." And he's like, "I'm like, who's your mom?" He's like, "Who's your mom?" And he's like, "This is my mom, and that's their mom, and they're cousins, so that makes us like second cousins, I think, but we are related." And then once that happened, it was kind of funny because we are like, "How do we just meet right now?" Like we probably met when we were kids, but forgot because we probably looked a little bit different. But we are related. We are blood related. We are cousins, and it honestly was. Guess coming together was almost an accident. I show up to Black Label Pro one day, and they're like, "Hey, we have this match for you. We want you to tag match, but we don't have a partner for you, so you can pick your partner." And they're like, they're running a seminar for Two Coast Scorpio that day. Like, you can pick one of the seminar kids. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then someone kind of gave me the elbow. They're like, "Hey, Saban's sitting right there," and I was like, "Oh, that's way better." I was like, "Saban, would you like to tag with me?" And legit took us 5 minutes to get the name down. First match we had came out mismatched gear, but it was fine. We didn't know whatever. But it was instant. I feel like chemistry, and they made the comment to us like, "You guys should continue doing this." I looked at them like, "Would you be interested in doing this? Because I'm interested in continuing it. If you are," he's like, "If this is our way in, absolutely, let's do it." And we became mainstays at Black Label Pro. That's where we got our first break as a tag team, I feel like. And we grew there. We obviously practiced together, so we were able to, get our stuff down, learn about each other, timing, everything like that. And ever since then, we kind of just been glued to each other's hip at this point.
What's it been like for you guys to be able to, I mean, as cousins, go on and win tag gold in BLP freelance, and you're the current Revolver tag team champions. What's that been like?
It's like when we won the BLP tag titles, it was we had been under a year of actually tagging together. We had not been tagging for a full year yet. We won the BLP tag titles, and it felt so rewarding because someone saw we had enough potential and almost cash in potential already to trust us with their tag division. And like, you have guys in the Midwest like Bang and Matthews, who I think are the best tag team in the country right now, and who we obviously have a crazy rivalry with, but like it's a respectful one where we just try to push each other. So being able to hang out with people like them, people like Violence is Forever, just meant so much to us in like the short span we had, because it meant that we were already at a level almost higher than people just starting, because we had this respect for each other, has connection where we trusted each other, and we knew we wanted to lead each other to the right path. So we just, everything we kind of did, we both agreed upon as a team, and it got us to this point, man. And it's so rewarding doing it with someone who is blood related, and someone I even not even blood related, but I see as a close friend, and more than a cousin, like a brother to me. And it's been a hell of a ride. I'm so happy we've been doing it.
I've been fortunate to see you guys live one time. It was at the BLP show at the Squared Circle Expo.
Okay.
You guys took on Hot Commodity.
Uh-huh.
I just want to say y'all's tag team chemistry is kind of crazy, especially knowing now that you guys didn't even realize that you were related, things like that. It's
Mhm.
kind of almost like it was meant to be kind of thing. Like
Absolutely.
it was the writing was on the wall and you guys didn't even see it until it was right there in front of your face. So
Yeah.
like, what do you think made that chemistry and that fire spark between you two?
I think it was the fact that we both agreed that we wanted to do this and that we were going to trust each other with opinions and ideas, and we weren't fighting. It was like a negotiation thing. We didn't argue about stuff. We don't argue about stuff really that much now. It was more we both had equal part in what we wanted to do. And then once you get that trust, and once you both agree that you're doing this, and you guys agree that you guys want to have the tag team work, that's where the chemistry comes in point, because there's no longer, well, I think we should do this. I think we should do this. I think we should do this. It's, we agree on this. Let's do it now. Let's perfect it. And that's where the chemistry sparked, where we both 100% were in on this working, and 100% in on making sure we did everything we could to add to our repertoire, add to our promos, add to our character. We were 100% in on it, and that's what made the chemistry spark, because it wasn't like you put two randoms together and try to make it work, and maybe in 6 months it worked. It was, you put two people together, they agree right away, and now it's, how do you make this team work? That's where the chemistry came.
Okay. Does the chemistry change at all when you guys are across the ring from each other?
No, I feel like it's there, man. I mean, Saban. When I get in the ring with Saban, it's just like we don't have to talk. We don't have to really. We can almost feel each other. Like, we know each other's timing. I mean, our matches at Freelance, I would say I hold them up to any match I've had, name or not name, against, and I feel like it was absolutely just most of the time magic. I mean, when we had that chain match at Freelance, um, obviously Saban had never been that type of match before. I told him, like, hey man, just trust me, I'll get us there, and he did. And I feel like that night, like that match, hopefully makes the best like match of the year candidate, best of Freelance. Like, that chain match, man, I hold to a high standard, because we went in there with a certain type of attitude that we were gonna, like, obviously not. I don't say create history, but we're gonna leave our mark with this match. People are gonna see this match and talk about it and remember it, and be like, you remember when Saban and Koda had that chain match and they did this, this, and this, and they did that, and that's the attitude we came in with, and that's the chemistry we have, because we want to be competitive, we want to push each other, and that's how we know we can get in there and just go without even having to speak. We just go.
Definitely. Where do you guys see yourselves going, not only as individuals but maybe as a tag team? Like, where do you think the mountaintop is?
You know, I like to set like realist. I mean, everyone has a dream of making it big today, to be AEW, wherever you want to be on those big pay-per-views, stuff like that. I would love for be able to, for me and Saban to live off professional wrestling, whether that be independent or contracted, to where we both are able to provide with just wrestling. And my ultimate dream, and people are gonna say, like, everyone else could be like, yeah, it's true, but I would love for me and Saban to be a TNA tag team. I feel
Okay.
like that fits our mode. I mean, the ultimate dream is, like, if Santana for any reason wants to make his own LAX, me and Saban are fucking available right away. Uh, right away we would do that. But I just would like Latinos just wanted to be on some sort of televised um, station. I feel like we could do well there. We can grow. We can just work with the best, and that's my ultimate goal for the tag team. Our main tag team for the goal is obviously making money off wrestling, no matter what. But if it was TNA, I would feel like I made it. Like, I could be like, I could retire, and be like, I made it.
So that obviously that's a long-term goal.
Mhm.
If we're looking into the near future,
Mhm.
where does Koda Hernandez want to be at the end of 2025, moving into 2026?
Man, I used to think singles all the time, but man, I've just shifted to this tag team thing. I mean, me and Saban are on Revolver consistently. We're tag champions. I want us to stay tag champions. I want us to branch out more towards the West Coast. DPW is a huge goal for us. Deadlock Pro. We think Big and Matthews just did it. We would love to do it. Obviously, there's always GCW that we would be great to be on. There's stuff we just did ETU out on the East Coast in New Jersey. We would love to go back there and do more of the East Coast stuff. There's companies like Prestige or West Coast Pro we would love to get on. So I mean, man, it's just getting on these higher level indies. We're looking forward to. I would love for me and Saban to be an act at freelance. And do our rivalry with Bang Matthews there because the freelance crowd's never seen that match before. So I feel like they would eat up Latinos Wanted versus Bang Matthews. I would love for us to be freelance tag champions. I also, for myself, would love to become freelance world champion. Um, I was a huge mark for freelance when it first started in Chicago scene. I'm a huge Isaiah Velasquez mark. I'm a huge Mustafa Ali mark. I tried to sneak in for freelance versus the world 2 at a bar when I was 14 years old. Couldn't get in. So I've always been a fan. So to hold the title that people like that I respect held, it would mean the world to me.
Absolutely. Coda, I want to say thank you first and foremost for being on here. This was a great podcast. Can't wait to do it again. We'll have to get you and Saban on. Maybe do a Latinos Most Wanted.
Absolutely.
Before you go, you want to shout out your socials one more time?
Yep, Koda Hernandez on IG. Koda Hernandez, I think 100 just checked on X. I do have a Pro Wrestling Tees. Koda Hernandez on Pro Wrestling Tees. Follow my boy Saban Gage also as well. I think Saban Gage on X and on Instagram. And yeah, man, you'll see my schedule again. I'm not sure when this is dropping, but October 3rd, I have Pro Wrestling Revolver. Me and Saban Gage defend our tag titles there. And then the next day is actually BLP, which is October 4th. I will be going in the gauntlet match for the BLP World Championship. So maybe I'll have a World Championship from BLP. And then October 5th, that's Sunday. So I have a pretty long weekend coming up. It's Pro Wrestling Adventures, Bang and Matthews versus Latinos Most Wanted, 2 out of 3 falls. And then we got Bloodstone on the 10th, me and Hernandez. Then I got Naptown Up Pro October 12th. And then I wrap out the year, October 25th at Eagle Pro Wrestling.
Nice. Coda, I just want to say thank you again, and I'll leave this to see you next time.
No, see you next, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. You're a great interview. I appreciate you, man. Again, I love that you get to the human aspect of stuff. Great. It was a great time being on this pod, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.